Why you need a vibe and not just a trend for self-improvement. Hey, I'm Alicia Soyakawa, the Empowered Woman, and today I'm going to talk about kind of the concept of how people are just exhausted in microtrends, meaning what's going on. Hey, the newest list, the newest workout that you need to do, the newest routine you need to follow, the checklist of getting things done. And if you're trying to improve yourself, there's a whole bandwidth of people coming at you online and in books telling you all the things you need to do. Now, I'm a big proponent of self-growth. I love to grow, but sometimes it may not be your vibe. And so when I really looked into what the concept of a vibe is, I was really curious about it because that's really what's going to shape your success is when you create your vibe. And that's your confidence and it's going to help everything in your life. So if you've ever felt overwhelmed with the next big thing or trying to keep up with everybody, or you're feeling behind because you're not doing all the things, I had a conversation today with someone that I coach about, always looking to see these big women doing amazing things that have families, and that she felt like she was behind. And so if you think about the concept of because you're not getting up at 5 a.m. and doing all the things, that you may be really hard on yourself. And so why this is exhausting for people, this is called a micro trend, is that it's not really authentic to who they are or their vibe. And so many times I want you to think about what is it that is important to you? A vibe is not just a thing or just a feeling, it's an energy, it's an identity, it's a personal framework for your own self-improvement. That's what I mean by a vibe. So examples of vibe versus trends would be, a trend would be like the 75 hard challenge. And I'm not throwing shade at, there's plenty of people that do it and have incredible success. But if it makes you stressed out and it's not you, a vibe would be maybe a disciplined growth mindset, right? Because that's what that is. Or the ice bath every morning, cold plunge every morning, instead of saying maybe your vibe would be mind and body wellness and focus, right? That's a more generalized vibe feeling versus it has to be this way and check the list off. Or working 16-hour days versus a balanced high performance, right? Getting more work done in a shorter period of time. And so one of the things you need to think about in this 3-step framework is, first of all, identify what energizes you. Everybody's different. I have conversations with people. Some people are morning people. Some people are night people. Some people are afternoon people. Just like there's introverts, extroverts, ambiverts. There's all different types of people and how we process and see information and do things. So think about what energizes you. If you love to exercise, what about the exercise that love you? Think about 3 habits that feel effortless, right? And 3 that feel forced. So that's how you'll know what avenue you need to be in. Are you someone that loves aggressive working out or being really active? Or are you someone that's more quiet and gets energy from being more still and not as movement oriented? The second step would be to align with your core values. And I know that people talk about core values left and right, but I think it's important to think about what are the 3 words potentially that describe the best version of you. Everyone's different, right? Is it calm? Is it powerful? Is it fun? Is it focused? Build habits. When you think of these 3 words, you can build habits that reflect those words. That would be your core value. And then the third is make it aesthetic. I love saying that word, an aesthetic, or embody it. So when you embody something, it becomes who you are, your identity. So you think about the concept of elegant discipline, right? Your habits might include journaling and refined routines and structured personal growth, maybe taking classes, and maybe it's very academic for you, or if it's wild and free and hanging out, it's someone that travels and you want spontaneity, because that could be your vibe, right? And why this works long-term versus a 75 hard or just, following this intense checklist of things is that this is more long-term sustaining because it's about who you are. It's about who you're embodying and who you're being. So it lasts longer because there's meaning behind it. And you tend to own your own self-improvement when it's your identity versus just putting a label on oh, I'm going to do that too, or I'm going to do the 5 a.m. call too, or I'm going to do this too because everybody else is doing it. You're kind of following along, whereas this is more custom and catered to who you are authentically. And I think it's really important to kind of think about what your vibe is and what the idea of what my vibe might be. Right? And you also want to think about what is important to you, and your vibe is going to be completely different to maybe your husband or your wife or your kids, and that's okay. And to make room and space for everybody's vibe, but understand that there is a psychology around vibes versus trends, and understand that you may be 10 tempted to run after a trend, but understand that that may be counterintuitive to what your vibe is saying. So you really want to think about why you have that vibe, and it matches this 3 framework that we talked about, and think about for yourself, what exactly you want your vibe to say, and is that really reflecting of who you are, or are you just putting a label on just to be like everybody else? So now it's your turn, and I would challenge you to drop 3 words in the comments below and let me know what the best version of you is. I'm just curious as we create the self-improvement that actually may last for you. And subscribe and follow for more information on self-improvement and different ideas and concept of growth, not just in the real estate space. I am a realtor and a coach in business, but I love all things personal growth. I love all things to help empower women, especially to go to the next level for you. So if you're thinking about this, think about your vibe and think about why that's better for you than trending along with all the things that are going on. Thanks for watching.